Hello, MCU fans. Today we're looking at the question, who is on the Avengers these days anyway? I mean, let's be honest, we haven't really seen the team or any of the members or even who's leading the team since Endgame. Now, sure, in Hawkeye we saw the, Rogers, a musical, but that was a historical event of the attack on New York. And in Miss Marvel, we saw the Comic-Con, but again, it wasn't something saying, here's the team, here's who's leading them. So for whatever reason, Marvel isn't really being clear about it. Now, obviously, we're going to know by the time we get to Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars, because you can't have an Avengers movie if you don't have an Avengers team. But that's a long time to wait. So between now and then, let's try to figure out who we think is on the Avengers team. So one of the cool things that I always liked about the comics is every now and then they would have a cover where they're saying basically, hey, a new team's coming, and they'd put a bunch of faces on the cover, and you got to try to think in your mind who you think the team is. And then, of course, they revealed it inside the issue. So using that line of thinking, I have listed the 55 characters, heroes, that have been introduced in phases 1 through 4 up to this point, and I've done it in basically chronological order. So in other words, Miss Marvel in the upper left-hand corner, all the way down to She-Hulk and Daredevil in the lower right-hand corner. And yes, I do understand Daredevil was in Netflix, and I, as well as everybody else, is hoping against hope that Marvel will confirm those are all canon. But for simplicity's sake, I'm putting Daredevil down there because that's the first time we have officially seen him, or will see him soon in She-Hulk in a Marvel show. So basically 55 heroes, pretty amazing. Now, half of them were introduced in phases 1 through 3. Now, because it's chronological order, Yelena is up there in the top half there, even though she was technically phase 4, but you get the idea. So phases 1 through 3 introduced half of them. That means the other half was all introduced in phase 4. That's pretty amazing. We've gotten a lot of new heroes in phase 4. Of course, Eternals is a big reason for that. I mean, Eternals introduced 13 new heroes. 3 of them were killed and didn't make it through the end of the movie, but still, 10 heroes came out of Eternals alone. But yeah, we've gotten a lot of new heroes in phase 4. So with all of these heroes on the table, let's see which ones we think could be in the Avengers. Well, I think the easiest way to go is to start eliminating the ones we know are not going to be on the team. So let's see what we can do there. Well, first of all, the Guardians will not be joining the Avengers. They may help the Avengers, and one of my favorite parts of Endgame was Rocket working with the Avengers and Nebula. It was really cool, but they're going to stay out in space. And we already know from Guardians 3 that it's going to be probably a sad movie, that we're going to lose a couple of the Guardians, probably. The team will be changing, and a new team will be forming, but regardless, the Guardians are not going to be part of the Avengers formally. So I've taken them out. All right, what else can we eliminate? Well, the Young Avengers are going to form their own team. Can't wait for that. It's going to be awesome. And yes, I do understand the actress that I've shown the picture of there, Cassidy Lang, has been recast, but technically speaking, we haven't seen her yet, so that's why I'm using the older, or the actress from Endgame. But yeah, here's 8 potential Young Avengers, and of course, Ironheart's coming in Black Panther soon, so potentially 9. Pretty cool. So anyway, they're going to form their own team, so I've eliminated them. Okay, who else can we eliminate? Well, the Thunderbolts are forming, and certainly Yelena and U.S. Agent are going to be in the Thunderbolts, but probably Hawkeye is going to be helping with the team, if not leading the team, because in the comics, he's just joined the team as the leader. And then Winter Soldier, Bucky, also led the team in the comics. So my guess is they're both going to be pulled in. They both have a lot of red in their ledger, and so fit well with the team. And of course, there's going to be a lot more joining the Thunderbolts. They're just not heroes. I mean, Abomination's going to be probably joining. Ghost is probably going to join. Justin Hammer may join. Baron Zemo may join, but they're not in the hero side, so that's why I only have these 4. But so, okay, we can eliminate these 4. So let's take them out. Okay, who else can we eliminate? Well, the Midnight Suns are going to be forming, and very likely Blade and Dane Whitman are going to be Midnight Suns, and then a lot of rumors are out there that Moon Knight is going to join, and if Moon Knight joins, I would think Layla might join. That'd be pretty cool. But either way, these four are not going to be part of the Avengers, so we can remove them. Okay? Hey, we're getting somewhere, right? Okay, who else can we remove? Well, the street level heroes aren't going to join. That's just my opinion, but I do not think we're going to see them join. I mean, Spider-Man's life has been totally changed after the spell was cast there at No Way Home. Nobody even remembers who Peter Parker is. I mean, technically, Spider-Man could join the Avengers and they just wouldn't know he's Peter Parker, but I think he wants to be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Daredevil's not going to join. Any of the other Netflix defenders that become canon, and again, I hope they are all canon. I want to be clear. It's just until they are, we don't know. But anyway, they're not going to join, and Echo is not going to join. So let's eliminate them. Okay, we're getting somewhere. Who else can we eliminate? The Eternals, my opinion, are not going to join. Now, maybe Cersei. I could see Cersei joining because A, she's joined in the comics, and B, maybe she would join as a representative of the Eternals to kind of represent their thoughts and feelings and to be part of the team for that reason. And Star Fox has joined in the comics, but I just can't imagine he's going to join at this point. But really, all the Eternals, their story is so up in the air after Eternals 1 that we really need Eternals 2 to come out. And then down the road, I think Cersei might join. But honestly speaking, most of the Eternals wouldn't even want to be part of the Avengers. They want to go off and do their own thing. So let's eliminate them. All right, who else can we eliminate? I don't think Wakanda is going to join for the most part. So Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye, no. I think they're going to stay and work on Wakanda. Now, it'll be interesting to see who the next Black Panther is going to be. There's rumors it might be Killmonger. If Killmonger comes back from the grave, there's a lot of good explanations for why. I haven't done a video on that, although I could, and maybe I should. It's some pretty cool ideas out there, but there are some excellent videos that have already been done by folks. I hate to just repeat something that's already out there, so go check it out. But if Killmonger were to come back, I can imagine Killmonger saying, hey, I don't want to be Wakanda's protector. I want to protect the world. And I could see Killmonger as Black Panther joining the Avengers. And boy, what an interesting dynamic that would be. So I've eliminated most of Wakanda, but I did leave Black Panther up there for now because I think that would be fascinating if he was Killmonger. So anybody else? Well, these heroes fall into a category of, I'll just say, other priorities. So I think Thor is going to be spending time with love and maybe going around the universe and fighting whatever, but he's going to be out in space. Wanda kind of has the whole am I dead or not thing. I don't think she's dead. There's no way they killed her character, but still, she's got to somehow come back, and I think she's going to show up first in Agatha's series. Captain Marvel will always stay in contact with the Avengers, just like we saw her doing in Endgame and in the end credits for Shang-Chi, but I don't think she's going to join. I don't think Wong will join because he's now the Sorcerer Supreme. I do think he's going to help enlist people for the Avengers, though, like we saw him doing with Shang-Chi. I don't think Monica Rambeau is going to join because I think she's going to go head up Sword in space, or at least work with Nick Fury. I think Vision's a hot mess right now, so he's in no condition to join. I think Valkyrie is going to continue at New Asgard, and Hercules is a very good candidate for the future. But right now, he's kind of got this whole I need to go fight Thor thing going on. So until we find out how that resolves, I don't think he's going to join. So any of these 8 could join, and almost all of them, if not all of them, in the comics have joined. But I think they have other priorities right now. So I honestly think they're all gone. So what are we down to? Well, we're down to a reasonable number now. So does that mean this is our Avengers team? I could see that. I could see these folks coming together to be the Avengers. 10 is a lot. Not that you can't have 10 on the Avengers, but that's a lot. So something interesting that's been happening is I think a West Coast Avengers team is being teased because Shang-Chi lives on the West Coast, Ant-Man and the Wasp live on the West Coast, or at least Ant-Man and the Wasp took place on the West Coast. She-Hulk lives on the West Coast. So that's 4 heroes that are all West Coast based. Wonder Man, which, hasn't even officially been greenlit, but certainly a lot of rumors it's going to happen. And maybe it'll get mentioned at D23. But Wonder Man is typically West Coast based because he's an actor. So if he appears, then I could imagine in his series, that's where Vision kind of comes back in again, because Vision and Wonder Man in the comics have been so closely related. Their stories have been. So wouldn't that be kind of cool? A West Coast Avengers team. I think this would be a good, solid team. That would then leave these 6 to be the East Coast Avengers team. I'd love to see Captain America lead the team. Falcon has been alluded to in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that he's going to take over the role of Falcon, Torres. Hulk, I think, will still stay involved. War Machine. Doctor Strange, no longer being the Sorcerer Supreme, has time to join the team. And then, as I mentioned, I think Killmonger, if he ends up being the Black Panther, would be fascinating. Just imagine this team interacting. Wow. So both the West Coast team and the East Coast team would be awesome. So those are my theories. Obviously, I would love your opinion. I mean, this is all opinion at this point. So tell me what you think. Is there somebody who I eliminated that you think actually will be in the Avengers? Do you think there's an East Coast and a West Coast team forming? Do you think there's a team at all? Let me know in the comments. Tell me your thoughts. And also, if you don't mind, if you would like the video and maybe subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. There's lots of other video content you can watch. And in the meantime, you can continue to enjoy the ever-expanding, ever-growing Marvel Cinematic Universe.